So for this, I like to do layers. So we're gonna go ahead and do the brown first, and then we'll go ahead with the main color, which in this case is the blue Labubu. Okay, so go ahead and grab your brown. You're gonna unwrap it a little bit, and I like to tie it in the air. So you're gonna go ahead and tie your little knot, so you have your little lasso, and then you're going to get your cover. This is mine, my little cheat sheet, but you'll have a color one to copy. And then I'm just gonna start down here on any of these nails, and we're just filling in the brown, and then we'll do blue on top. Okay, so I do tie a couple knots like this, just so that it is secure and you don't want it to fall off. Then I go ahead and I trim it a little bit like that. And you are just going to be wrapping the string around the nails. I like to kind of go a couple at a time. And then from here is like the tricky part, because you don't want to cover the blue part up here. So we're just going to outline this little bit and go back and forth and then try and fill in. It's not the end of the world if you go over this. It'll just make it easier if you leave all this empty, but it's okay. So one way you can do it is you can count the nails. So if you look right here where the blue and the brown separate and combine, it's a triangle. So 1, 2, 3. And then from this point, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So here's your little triangle, 1, 2, 3, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4. So then you can just sort of wrap it around all of those. And so this nail is this nail right here. Now we're gonna go in and just back and forth. You go in like this, and just wrap it around. And the brown section is not a huge section, so just gonna keep outlining. And then for this part, it does go down. So here I'm gonna undo it and go up and then down, and then that. Then we're gonna go all the way up and then down and around. And then now that you're on the other side, it's the same thing over here. You can kind of count the nails. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're kind of getting down. And then this is the mouth. And again, it's not the end of the world because you're gonna do other layers on top, so it's fine. And you can always unstring it. So let's just try it. So we're gonna go ahead and go down like this, and down like this, and down like that, and see, there we go. Because then your mouth are these little triangle bits. Okay, so this is the last one and this is the last one. There we go. Next, what you're gonna do is, you can do this any way you want. So from here, you're just gonna do a crisscross, and this is gonna start filling it in for you and creating a border. So just follow that line that you've already created. Crisscross, crisscross. Second time around is definitely gonna be easier because you have a path. And this is just starting to fill it in. And this is very helpful for the other colors when you get to the blue. It gives you that crisp line. And then once you get here, you can kind of go backwards, and you're gonna now have an X shape in between each nails as you go. And again, this just makes it thicker. You don't necessarily have to do this, especially because we're doing colors on top, but still. We're just gonna keep going around. And then from here, it's these same kind of steps that you're just gonna do in the middle. And this is the hardest part, just trying to make sure that you don't go too much over the eyeballs. It'll make it easier down the line. You can use your other hand to sort of follow and hold it in place too. That's what I'm doing right here. And again, this is the last part for this border. You can wrap it around on the inside now. So you've gone around 4 times. This is number 4. So from here, just do your best to avoid it. If you have to go over it, it's not the end of the world. But we're just gonna sort of fill in using those same steps, crisscross, like that, between all of these little spots. So this is technically a figure 8 is what it is. And if you want to outline the teeth to guide you, you can do that too. I'm sure mine are not going to be perfect and I'm going to have to fix it later, and that is fine. See, I can drag it all the way across, twist it, and once we get around the mouth, we'll have a bigger space to fill in. Just going to go up and down, side to side, wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. And so then right here is this little pocket right here. And from here, you can go across to the eye and use those nails to sort of start to anchor and fill in the rest of it. Then later we'll go over with black and white to finish it. That's why it doesn't really matter if you mess up, because you can just push it down.
Mommy, I've been leaving.
So here we're just going to continue from all of these ones to this. And go at different angles, and that'll fill in the different areas. And then as you go, you can hold the string tight and sort of push down the netting with your fingers. So you want to make sure that you have some brown left because you're going to need it for these two little pockets, okay? So go ahead and trim it away and save this for later because we'll do that after we do this part of the ear. And holding it tight, you have to tie a knot just like in the beginning. So hold it tight, make your little loopy in the air like that. Choose any nail. I like to put my finger down to trap it and then the other hand to pull. Okay, and do it another time. Whoop. Number 1, there we go. Okay, you can do 3 times if you want, but we're just gonna do 2. Okay, and then I like to trim this, so that's done. And then you can use the open end of the scissors carefully or your fingers. So we're gonna save the brown string for later. And next we get to do the blue. So this one is gonna be a lot easier than the brown, because you really are just doing this and it'll continue all here in one continuous solid piece of string. So go ahead, just like we started the brown, do your little loopy, pick a nail. I'm left-handed, so I usually end up going on the left side. And then tie a knot. Trim it. And again, these are the same steps you've done with the brown, so if you feel comfortable with it, you can skip ahead. But you're really just doing the exact same thing. So we're just gonna re-outline. I like to give myself my border so that I know where I'm going. This one is definitely going to be easier. Remember, you can push down the brown to make room for the blue, and it'll help. We're just gonna do this. Oh, there's the end. I'll have to retag that in because I just pulled it up. So you're doing this, then we're gonna go down. And this one is the mouth. So just follow the border you did. be okay. Here we go. And now we're gonna go on the outside edge. And for that, see how you can just kind of drag it because of the curve? Do it all at once. And then we're gonna do a big curve for this ear. All the way down, over one, and then all the way up again. And this, oops, this way. And so this is where we're going. So you can do those other steps at the beginning or end, or in any order you like. So if you just want to kind of do all the steps in this one section and get this one section done, you can definitely do that. I usually end up doing a mix of everything, kind of crazy all over. And you know what? The fun part is that it works. You don't have to follow a particular pattern or direction, and you can always unstring it to try it a different way. And for this, I don't know if you can tell, you can always do another one on the outer side, just for sort of clean it up, I guess. Usually at the very, very, very end, I'll go around the whole border again. But again, it's optional. So now we're just gonna kind of fill this in, I think. And that's what I feel like doing right now. So we'll see. Doing section by section. And again, this is just gonna give it a clean look in between the two sections of brown and blue. Whoops. That's why you're supposed to hold the other hand to help you. Or else that's what's happened. And then you're just gonna keep doing this. All the way around, and then around this bit and this bit.
No. What do you want? Go side? Side? Is that too perfect? No. Whoa.
So we are ready for the white. We're going to do the eyes and the teeth. So first I'm going to do the eyes. It's going to be on this outer border, and then the inside is going to be black. So go ahead, just like you've been doing, tie a knot. And for this one, it's just all the same steps. Just outline and fill in and then tie another knot. Okay, so for this we're gonna go down, and again, you can count nails and that helps too. But this one is just kind of an oval. If you see this part right here, bloop. And that's all we're doing for the white. And this is where doing those border steps, the crisscross and everything, will really help make it pop and fill in faster, especially because it is such a small area. The black will cover this side eventually, so don't worry about it. It's okay, basically. We're still gonna do it, but just know, eventually black will be in a border covering it. I'm gonna go here and here and here, and heck, why not? We'll put some more on the outside like that. Then we're gonna crisscross in the middle, something like that. And push down as you go. It'll help the string fit. And crisscross down a few more. We're gonna do half a crisscross, whatever you want. Let's see if this will go down to this one. We're gonna do some more on these outer edge, and this part is already done. And then we're gonna do this. Let's see if it fills it in a little tiny bit more. Okay, we will cut this off and tie it. And do the same thing for the other eyeball, and then we're gonna do the little triangles for the teeth, which you can outline the whole smile, and then we'll go over the top part in black, so it's okay. I know with the little details it is a little bit more intricate, but it's fun in the end when you can see more of that detail. Okay, we're gonna see if we can unloop this bit. There we go. Okay, and then we will trim off this little bit. Try and tuck it in so it doesn't even. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to retuck that in, but we'll see what the black string does. Okay, so we're getting there. Now we're gonna do, this one is also on this side of the white. Let's grab your white string and repeat. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the mouth. We can do the white outline of the top and then we'll go over it in black, that's okay. It'll be easier to help guide our stuff anyways. So we're gonna go ahead, and there's this one little nail that is free floating on the brown that's not connected to the blue, so you know it's not the border, and that is gonna be this spot right here. So we're gonna go ahead and tie it on, just like we've been doing. Trimming a little bit out of the way. And it's those same border steps we've been doing, just on this. Here, I'm gonna try and tuck this in. And then if you see, it's gonna go down and up, down and up, down and up, all the way. And that is the thing. So if you want, what we can also do is do the teeth as we go. That works too. Because you don't need to do the full figure 8 on the top smile. That's okay. But I think you'll end up with it anyways. Because look here. Don't worry about it so much. But old habits die hard. So between that, we have our first little tooth, and now we're gonna go down, around, and up. We'll go down, around, and up. Okay, go down again. Come on, little thing. Need to push down my string a little bit more, probably. Okay, so now we got 3 little teeth. We are about halfway. And we are just going to keep going all the way down, and then we will get the black string. So before we do the black, I'm gonna go ahead. You can do this at any point after the blue. I kind of just forgot. So basically, same thing. We're just gonna make sure we do this little diamond-y oval shape. So, we're gonna do a double knot, grab our lovely little scissors, and start wrapping around this little bit. And then we'll repeat, and then we will do the black. And then our little Labubu should be all done. So when you're doing it, make sure that we leave enough so that you have enough brown for the second ear piece. Okay, so we're going to tie it off. Another little knot. All right, so time to get the black string, do your little loopy, and off we go. So we're gonna go ahead and tie it, outline it, fill it, and tie it off. So for this one, same thing. You're just gonna outline and do that figure 8 between these ones. To make the eye pop. Super cute. And then we're gonna go down this way. If you remember all the way back, we had the white going, and I told you that look, you'd be covered. And then for this part, make sure you go right here and not here to get the little definition. All the layers of string are finally catching up to me. I'm gonna wrap this. Use your other hand. Hold it. And go back and forth. Okay, and we are going to cut and tie and then repeat. The second one. just in the sink, I guess.